Guys, so another week, another crazy trades in the market, right? I'm not going to discuss the chart, but what I have in front of you is just the S&P 500 futures chart, and this is the hourly chart, as you can see on the left side. Um the highlight here is the fact that we were definitely very flat for the last 3 days of trading. And you know what really, it basically reminded me or reaffirmed the whole idea that most traders are definitely impatient. And, some people can trade chops. This is a chop, and some people can really trade it, and some people can't. In terms of chops, you really have to be very quick in terms of, where you buy and where you sell. You got to pick your levels and all that. So, it reaffirmed again why so many people lose money in trading. And the fact of the matter is, you know, um, you lose money, or people lose a lot of money because they're so impatient. And I even mentioned in the live trade room that, sometimes if the setup isn't there, you really should just stop and just kind of move on. The unfortunate aspect there is if you're a day trader and you do need the money, then you're really forced to trade. Problem is, if you're going to force the trade and you lose money, then it's going to be doubly painful for you to come make that back, right? So, um, so two things I guess I want to talk about today. First, patience, right? So if you're a naturally impatient person, you're not going to go far. You better develop patience very soon, or the market will remind you that you need to be patient. I've never met a person who's very impulsive who's made a lot of money in the market. They've always lost money because they see things that aren't there, and they take a trade, and again they end up losing a lot of money. This market is being run by machines, and those machines don't care. They'll bring it up, bring it down, whatever, right? The second thing is be not being a multi-asset trader, or at least not finding your niche, right? So if you're just an ES guy or a stock guy, and if it's really a boring day, you really should have controls or discipline to just stop trading for the day, or not even trade for the day. It's when people go into trading and not have that self-control, right? That's the problem. So being a multi-asset trader, what does that mean, right? So for me, I started out with stocks and decided, you know what, there must be something more that I can do, especially when the day is very boring. So I learned futures, then I learned forex, right? So this week, the biggest moves were actually in forex, particularly the euro as well as the Canadian dollar. So those had really crazy big moves, even overpowering, or overperforming, outperforming the stock market, right? So if you're not the kind of person who wants to learn other things, that's fine. Nobody's forcing you to do so. But there's always an advantage in learning as much as you can, learning other things so that you have different trading tools and you have different alternatives to trade on a given day. If you're a serious full-time day trader, you really should learn how to trade other things. It's kind of incumbent upon you to learn other things, right? If you're just trading SPOOs and you're not trading oil or other things, you're gonna end up losing a lot of money, or missing out on other opportunities, right? As summer usually has the lowest volume of the year, and you can even see the volume here has kind of dwindled quite a lot. So summer typically has quite a lot of has a lot of days but very few volume. So you're gonna have to figure out what you're gonna do and what works for you, right? So in an ongoing process where I talk to clients and even people who need help, I've always told them you need to be patient. You need to also know what you're doing, right? And I've, the people who don't want to spend money, I tell them, go and find some websites or YouTube or wherever. If you find a guru who's willing to teach you for free and make sure that guru actually knows what you're doing, then you hit the jackpot. If you find somebody who's willing to help you for free, or at least for a very minimal charge, great. But you know, like I said, there's this sort of belief in the world right now that you can figure out the financial markets based on the internet alone and everything else. I think that's just funny in so many ways, because how can you really be sure which website is telling the truth and which one is doing stuff. Obviously, the easiest way to find out is you get one guy or one girl telling you something. You back test those trades using paper money and see if those work, right? That will take time for sure, but that's something you can do. All you're spending is really time, not opportunity cost, but you're not spending any of your hard-earned money, right? So again, ultimately, there's a lot of people out there who do try to help struggling traders, who really try to make sure you understand. But even if even I'm just talking about the whole general thing, I'm not even telling you, hey, sign up or anything. I don't care. So basically, there's a lot of people who are trying to help, but you gotta still understand. Are you really hearing what they're saying, right? Are you just listening and thinking this guy's an idiot, or are you really listening to what they're saying? Because it is difficult to look inwards and really say that we are the problem, that you are the problem. You need to learn to really find what works for you. There's a lot of people who trade different things and they make it work, right? So, in my experience, I branched out to other different trading instruments because I feel that if I am stuck on one thing, I'm going to be super specialized, and if something does happen and and that one thing I'm trading isn't really doing anything, and here you go. So, if you look at Friday's trading, May 18th, you'll see that as the S&P was really flat, Tesla was moving, dollar CAD was moving. There's a lot of things moving. Even Bitcoin was selling off. It fell below 8,000. So, you got to pick which one. But at the end of the day, if you really, really can't get yourself to stay on, a trading asset, or if you really can't get yourself to move out of the one that you really like, then develop the discipline, develop the patience that if there is nothing working or nothing happening in what you are trading, don't trade. It's difficult, but it's something you're gonna have to do. If you don't do it now, the market will do it for you, and it's not even a joke. There's a lot of people this week who try to buy the dip. I know because I actually sign up on to other people to kind of see what they're saying. One guy was famously saying that we're gonna go hit 27.60 on Friday because it feels like a rip is coming. Well, as you can see, we closed at 27.12. The guys who are probably signed up to him or with him, I don't know. I mean, they're probably pissed off at this point, right? So, like I said, nobody is ever going to be perfect in predictions. Or predicting markets where they go is a fool's errand. For us, we day trade. I day trade, so I can only see what's happening during the day, and I'm perfectly happy with that risk. If I see that it is going to go lower, I'm going to go take the short. If I think it's going to go bounce, I'm going to go long. But ultimately, that is the whole point of what we're talking about here, that you got to figure out, if you have the discipline. If you don't, develop it as soon as possible. And you got to have patience. And outside of that, if you're willing to branch out, learn other things, learn cryptocurrencies, learn Forex, learn futures. I don't know, just learn something. And the more you have, the more tools you have at your disposal, the more flexible you're going to be, and the more capable you're going to be, right? So be very aware, be careful, and at the same time, I think, at the end of the day, it's the markets. It's just, at the end of the day, it's just speculating anyway. So make sure you have a plan always in place, and yeah, and again, have fun. If you're not having fun doing this, then it's not trading. You're really working, and how is it any different from working a 9-to-5 job if you're not happy, right? So you gotta be happy with what you're doing, and just have fun. All right, so take care, and until next time.